Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And also honor and salutations to those of you who are the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. So I wanted to get into this topic. I've said it before, and I'll say it again here, that there's been an increase in desperation when you have different conversations with people, when you watch the news. There's a sense of desperation. I already told the story about a family member who's been texting me, actually just texted me today. I didn't respond to it, but um there overall there's this sense of desperation. um, what made people comfortable at one time, uh, this cushion that the Western society or America provided, is now being stripped from up underneath. As a matter of fact, let me go here. Let's go to open up another one of these. Yeah, let's go here. This is Ecclesiastes 7:7. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Right. And what was that gift? The West, if you will, America, Babylon the Great, has provided comfort as a gift, by way of just our modern society as a whole. Right, we've got running water, of course, we got electricity. Then that expands out into cable and internet. And ultimately, it also extends out into welfare, SNAP benefits, WIC, right? So there's all these comforts that the West or that America has provided. And like it says here in the scripture, a gift destroyeth the heart. Because people think that a gift makes you means that the other party, right, that's providing the gift somehow cares or somehow loves you. But there was an ulterior motive. Matter of fact, let's go here. Yeah, let's go here. What was it? What was it? Sirach 12 and 10. This is Sirach 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. And this is what our people don't consider, that whether the enemy comes with a sword or a gift, he's still the enemy. Matter of fact, I got another one. This is Psalms 55 and 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Right? So butter is smooth, right? But war is hardened and rough. Right? So even though he says nice things, even though he does nice things, he's doing it with an ulterior motive. Right? His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You see? So our people don't consider or haven't considered that this person or these people that are in power over us are still our captors, right? They're still our oppressors. They're still our enemy, and they have been since the beginning. Matter of fact, I got one more I should go to saying that. What is that? Genesis 25. hmm This is Genesis 25 and 19. It says, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. So these children, being Jacob and Esau, they've been struggling with each other since the womb. And it's no different today. Now that we've both become nations, both the nation of Edom and the nation of Israel, that enmity between them two would last forever. Okay. And so, again, our people didn't consider that this is our enemy, that our natural born enemy that we're amongst. So anything that they do is to either destroy us or to keep us in perpetual darkness out of the stead of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right. And so now that this desperation is being created, right, with the SNAP benefits being cut off, the government being shut down, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party not able to come to terms, all those things create desperation in the people, right? We've always said that the downfall of America is in part internal, meaning that it's a controlled demolition. They want everything to come apart at the seams and then present a solution for that. Okay, and that's what's going on. That's what's going on. An act of desperation is going on, and so this is why the men of the Lord are in a good stead, because we don't have too much and we don't have too little. I read this the last show, but I want to read it again. This is Proverbs 30, and I'll start at 7. It says, two things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches, right? Feed me with food convenient for me. Okay. So in that stead, you don't have too much, you don't have too little. You're right in that middle, that nice little pocket, right? So you're not desperate where you'll curse the Lord, and you're not too rich where you'll forget the Lord, which it says here. It says in verse 9, least I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or at least I be poor and steal and take my the name of the Most High in vain. Okay. And so this is the stead that the men of the Lord are in. But most people are going to be put in a state of separation. I mean, I'm saying separation. I meant to say desperation. And once they're in that state of desperation, anything that Esau offers as a solution, they'll take. They'll take. Okay. And that's where the micro C hip comes into play. right? Let's go to that. Did I read this? I did. Let's go to Revelation 13. This is Revelations 13, and I'll go right to the point here in 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay. Let me look up that word causeth. It's just to make, with the names of things made, to produce, construct, for fashion, etc. To be the authors of the cause, right? To make ready, to prepare, to produce, bear, shoot forth, to acquire, to provide a thing for oneself, to make a thing out of something, to make, i.e., render one anything, right? So it's all obvious. I thought I was going to say something else, but right, they're going to make everyone receive that chip, right? And how and a part of it, first, well, as of right now, they're gonna we well, I used to say in my spirit, as I was, meditating on it at times, that it would be uh forced, and eventually it will be, right? But um more of a blatant force. But really, it's a force in that people have been so used to getting that comfort, right? That they're gonna walk into the line once the this environment is manufactured, this environment of need and want, right? Once this environment is manufactured, uh, people are going to be lining up to get that micro chip or the MOTP. People are going to be lining up for it. Okay. So what should we do? One, um, the men of the Lord, we know what to do, as it says in Thessalonians. That we're not in darkness. But for those of you who listen, that are unsure, desperate, scared, you turn your life over to not just God. It's not enough. You turn your life over to Yahweh in the name of his son. Bahashem is what in the name means. Yahweh Shai. That's his son's name. He is the deliverer. You turn your life over to the Lord so that in those times of trouble, you will have a covering. And for many people, it may be too late. The door of mercy might be closing. But I wanted to speak a little bit more to this idea of. Well, let me see what I got. What else I got pulled up here? Yeah, let's read that. I want to read that. What's this one? What's this one? Yep. I want to read these. Start with this one. This is Second Ezra's 6:22. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." Okay. So the sown places appearing unsown. Everything right now is sown, right? Still business as usual. Even though the government is shut down, you can still go to the grocery store and get some groceries. You can still go to the gas station and get some gas. If you go to the liquor store and get your little drink or whatever you get, right? Everything is still somewhat normal. but those that normalcy is quickly going to appear unsown. I have written down in my notes, America can quickly become like a third world country, right? Food being rationed out, money being rationed out. And we've been telling you about it. Now it's right here in the front of our faces, right? And then the storehouses, right? This is your grocery store, right? This is your food banks, shelters. All of that stuff is going to be broken down at the seams, man, or pulled apart at the seams, and that's going to cause a sense of desperation, right? Let's read that. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Boom. At that time shall friends fight one against another, like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation in the end of your world. And this is what we hope to see, the end of the world and salvation. But as this reads, a lot of people are going to be taken in this, right? That's why it says, whosoever remaineth, the elect, right? So that's what's happening. You're seeing an uptick in the feeling of desperation. Okay, let's go here to Lamentation. This is Lamentation 4:9. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field." Right? You'd rather be killed with a sword because why? It's immediate, right? You don't. There's no suffering. You get stabbed with the sword, or you get thrust through with the sword, and you die. Or same thing if you get shot, right? It's an instant death, depending on where you get shot, of course, or thrust through, of course. But it's a quicker death. Whereas if you're hungry, right, there's this every day you wondering when the next piece of rice coming, right? That feeling of desperation it compiles onto the feeling of hunger. Okay, and that's what's happening. People gonna be robbing and stealing. It's gonna be anarchy. You know, and it's all the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, so let's see what else I got here. Yep, let's read this. This is Second Kings 6:24. It says, "And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver." So they was eating donkey and bird shit, man. That's how bad it got. Right? So what is that? A desperate time calling for a desperate measure. But your desperate measure should be asking Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to deliver you, to cover you. That's the only desperate measure that's going to work. Okay. Let's read this in Jeremiah 30:7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." All right. So just like we read, and what was that? I was reading. It says, yeah, it was in Second Ezra, the 6th chapter. Right. There's going to be some of us, some of the elect of not some of the elect. The elect are going to be delivered, but most people are going to be taken by that, man. That time of trouble. Okay. So I wanted to do this. I wanted to go to Genesis. I think it was was it 47 and 19 or 18. Yeah, let's I want to jump up a little bit though. Yeah, let's show the 13 here. All right. Show you what people do in desperate times. This is Genesis 47 and 13. It says, "And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when money failed in the land of Egypt, right? And in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth, right? We ain't got no more money. And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, We will not hide it from my lord, how that our money is spent. My lord also hath our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my lord, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. You see? And so the people here were so desperate that they gave all their money, they gave all their cattle, they gave all their land, and ultimately they gave themselves so that they can eat. And that's what Esau, you don't think Esau studied this? That's his plan, right? That's the ulterior motive behind all of this. Get them dependent on us, right? Give them their food, give them their cash benefits, right? Give them their apartment, Section 8, and then take it from them, right? So this is what's going on, man. Desperation, manufactured desperation, if you will. All right. So hopefully that was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Honor and salutations to the elect. And with that, I say shalom.